say, okay,
Okay, I made one.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
not perfect. There's only one perfect person.
Oh yeah, there is only one.
And you see the girl that's in charge of downtown,
Mm-hmm.
Anita Bagno.
Yeah.
She was the first person that saw me. I remember you from your it was the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, is that good or bad? She says, well, it could be. So I told her at the end, her and I need to sit down and talk.
Oh yeah, yeah.
These people out of control. They're ruining downtown.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree.
We've had so many years. I've been here 37 years. I moved here in 1983. I'm married to a Cajun woman, so I ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched this city now being transformed. Not to what the culture.
Not to uh-huh.
The culture that we have.
Yes.
And I don't care what ethnic background.
Right, right.
I don't see color. Let's put it that way. And that's an honesty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you knew my history when I grew up.
Oh well, I think we both in the same philosophy. Shahid, are we on live? Yeah.
We did that one night. We were talking.
Yeah, didn't even know
had
we
the
was
hot
on.
mic come on.
Mm-hmm. Today, there's so many things that's going on today. We could go ahead and start off by saying that I'm not exactly sure what the topic is, or then maybe I could be sure of what the topic is. I'll just wait till Mr. Kevin himself come in, and he'll go ahead and mention what the topic is. The telephone number to call us is 337-366-8950. 337-366-8950, extension 1. And what we're going to go ahead and start off right now is like we're going to go ahead and discuss some of the things that's going on in society. Well, you do know that the coronavirus is just about all over in the United States, abroad, and what they're saying about it is that people that's over the age of 60 that have a compromised immune system, they have to be really careful. And what they're talking about is that when you go somewhere, be careful where you're going. If you're going to cough or if you're going to sneeze, make sure you use protection. Make sure that you wash your hands some 20 seconds or more. Make sure you wash your hands some 20 seconds or more. That's imperative. Make sure if you have any fever, if you think that you have the flu, if you think that you're weak, call in to see the doctor. Once you've seen the doctor, or whatever the doctor tells you to do, you need to adhere to that. And that's very important. We need to adhere to that. And we are going to go ahead and just start off with, like I stated, I'm waiting on the one and only Mr. Kevin to call in. I mean, to come in person. He's going to come in, and he's going to go ahead and discuss what's going on with our show and what we're talking about. I also wanted to say that it's imperative that people, if you're don't be so negative. If you see someone and they're feeling like if they're not having a really good day, do the respectful thing. Say good morning, good evening. Don't just walk by your elders and just walk by and then don't say hello. Don't say good evening. I know we were somewhere where the lady couldn't find her car, and she was like just paranoid. I can't find my car. So just by taking her car keys, walking with her, and pressing the alarm system, we were able to find her car. And that's very important that we do this. You've got to show some type of kindness being kind to someone is not necessarily being weak, because at one point in time we all need each other. We're supposed to help each other out. Now, I know that defending our community, we were on earlier, and really it was supposed to be the Ma Buck and Joe show, and I don't know how that got confused with defending the community, but yes, we were on earlier. Today, this is a live segment, March the 11th, a live segment, and we're live from 4:30 to 5:30. Our one and only host, Mr. Kevin, has walked in, and Mr. Kevin, I was just talking about the coronavirus, how it's very imperative in our community that we take heed to what's going on. Whether you believe it or not, that disease is killing off a lot of people. I couldn't say what exactly your topic was, and then maybe I could have said it, but I feel that you came up with it. You need to say it.
Well, welcome y'all, and I'm sorry I'm late again, but when you got to work for a living. Look, guys.
Yeah, a lot of us got to work for a living. Isn't that something?
Yes, but you get rewarded at the end of the day for doing your job.
Right, but you call driving working? Is that my forte? You call driving?
Yeah, you heard what you said. Your forte.
Right, okay.
But let's get into this here, guys, because, look, under this new administration, this word is coming back. It has no power if you defined it right. The topic is defining the word nigger, that most black folk think is something like kryptonite that was to Superman. This word does not make us. We define it. And we got to stop letting simple things dilute us for our future. Look, guys, you have heard the South will rise again. They meant their attitude. This administration has brought them back to the old way of thinking that we not educated no more. This is the problem we're having with our own self. This fear that they're putting on a lot of misinformed people, that black people and Mexicans wants to take what they got.
Oh yes, I definitely agree with you.
In 1898, Merriam-Webster, the author and writer of the dictionary, said this word was any culture of people that had dark skin.
Okay.
The difference between now and back then is that everybody's almost 2 shades darker.
Yes, that is accurate. And the melanin that dark people have in their skin, it helps save us from a lot of things. Like we could actually go outside and don't have to worry about putting sunblock on our skin because of the melanin.
We tend
at
to.
One time, yeah, we burning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but at one time,
I get darker than this.
Oh, you do?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, you.
We are human beings. Even though other people think that we are aliens or animals, we are human beings. Whatever you go through, we go through. We just can take a little more of it.
Okay,
and go ahead.
Okay, now as you can see, it's defending our community. Your host, Mr. Kevin. I'm Sister Khadijah, and it's defining the word
nigger.
Okay,
nigger. Since you can't say it, like it done something to you.
No, well, it has done something to me when I was younger. Today,
thank you, because we didn't understand.
Right,
the word.
and look, today. It don't do jack of anything to me.
Okay, so that's why we must define it before we start letting words start affecting our the way we think.
I agree with what you say, but I don't want to offend those people that, they go back into history and they remember that. I know being a young girl and right up in the midst of integration, we would call that so much, it was unreal. And every time they called it to us, we would call them little Cajun or...
Yeah, they was Caucasians. We were niggers.
We would call them...
Those words was not offensive, but by the using of the wrong people made it offensive.
And you did mention that what it says in the book. It's a continuous term for a black or dark-skinned person. It's offensive, but it also means ignorance. So you have ignorance in every shade.
This is what other cultures started adding on to it.
Okay.
That we were lazy, we were this, we were that. They added on to this. So the word can be as potent. And we wasn't educated back in the day, so we didn't understand what nigger was. Webster didn't even understand what nigger was. But he wrote down a culture of people that were called Negroes, but he put nigger.
Right.
And that's why he put any dark-skinned culture of people. Now, in 1985, Congressman Ron Delium defined it as socially disadvantaged class of people whose lifestyle and opportunities were defined by others. So that means you doesn't have to be black to be a nigger. And this is what we don't understand. We take these words without knowing the definition of it, and then we escalate it to the highest being. I'm going to give you some other words that Webster came up with. Niggling, niggled, niggard, niggardly. This was all pertaining to so-called black people.
And also, they had niggerlettes, and
that's when the little kids.
Right. That's
See,
right.
the other cultures took this word and added on to it to make it offensive.
Right. Right.
And this is why today's black people, well, preferably young black people, use the word so every other word is nigger.
Yeah, not just
because it's not offensive because we use it.
Yeah, but it's used in both languages. I've been in a group where you had more whites than blacks, and that's what they're calling each other. A term of endearment.
Right.
What's
we
up?
called them wiggers because it was called a white nigger. But now they call themselves niggers. So, I mean, we can't be mad at them. That is their right to do this because they feel the way we used to feel.
Yes.
So we can't be mad at this word. We must make our children and grandchildren understand this word.
Once you take the power off of something that has been acclaimed as being negative, once you take that power from it, it has
Nothing
strength.
to do at all.
It has no strength whatsoever. All of the fights that we got into behind calling each other names and stuff, it's irrelevant because today, I would just look at you and say, okay.
Well, I would look at you and say, well, who is the nigger?
Right.
Because if you define the word from what Webster said and what Ron Delium is saying right now, that every socially disadvantaged, which majority are white that are socially disadvantaged, are this word. So we cannot be mad at the way they use it in their preference. Now, I'm not saying white folks go use this word by black folks throwing it towards them because I'm not responsible for what might happen because a lot of people don't understand this word. And this is why we must define words we don't understand to get us through. Because long as we know us, they cannot break us down. This word was not defined or explained when it was used against us. Forgot we came here, our people did not know English, did not know nothing of this culture. We had to adopt and learn their language. So they made up all kind of words, not us. It was defined by them, not us. So we got to be the one to educate our children and grandchildren about words they don't understand that used to be so-called offensive. It only becomes offensive when you don't understand it. In today's society, we have become so sensitive. You cannot give nobody a compliment or tell them they look like somebody or tell them something is wrong with them. We didn't used to be like this. We used to be a culture of people that told you what you needed to hear, not what you wanted to hear. And now we done envied the white culture so much till we done lost ourselves. We must regain what we came from because those words that was used back in the day towards me made me better because my parents made me understand why someone was so-called jealous or envying me. We were poor and we didn't even know we were poor because everything we did was so much fun. So we got to go back to the old ways and stop allowing people to tell us what their words mean until we understand it.
And another thing, during the Vietnam War, it was rumors that went out that not to engage with the black men, because the black men had tails that grew from their buttocks and stuff. Not to conversate with them, not to do no type of business with them, and that was a rumor. That was a lie, and it was a disgusting lie, because though I could go and fight for the country, fight for your country, you had the audacity to go and put these despicable lies out saying that, oh, black men had tails. You know, that wasn't true.
But that worked, because a lot of black men came home because those people thought we actually had tails. So technically, what they done saved a bunch of people. See, everywhere there is black people, we are feared. No matter where we go to, we are feared. We can go back to Africa. They fear black Americans because of the rumors. We are the only ones that can correct these rumors. You know, we don't understand ourselves, so how can we understand someone else? This is why it's so important for us as parents, grandparents, to make our children and grandchildren understand what they mean.
And you know, in the military, also, if you received an Article 15, that meant it was a dishonorable discharge. And from that meant that you lost all your benefits. You might have to go and be incarcerated. Any type of honors that you had before, that all was gone. And so it was imperative that you understood that the best fighters in the wars was the black man. The best fighters in flying the plane was the black man. The Buffalo Soldiers, they took this war a whole nother level. So all of that negativity, you know, when it was a matter of life and death, it didn't seem to matter too much. But you still, when I say you still continuously put out bad rumors and everything, but when you go through the history of it, you know that no wars would have been won without the black man or the black woman.
But do you think the wars that black people went fight for this country made a difference? No, it didn't, because they went out there as heroes to other countries and being feared as other countries, then come back to their own country couldn't even find a job out here.
Couldn't even find a job. You still couldn't go and eat in the restaurant. You still had to go behind the back door. They still had black only like in the closet, white only in the front. So that's something that the world itself has to deal with. They're the one that invented racism. They the one that invented prejudice. No matter how you look at it, you know, somebody could die for you, give you their blood, but yet you don't want to honor them. You don't want them to be buried in the same grave where others are buried. If you're in the grave, you're dead. I mean, you're just dead. So why does it matter if I'm buried next to somebody with skeleton? Or somebody with skeleton, because we all dissolve.
Correct. And when white people die, they turn black. So my biggest thing to everybody, I have never saw a rich white man turn down some good black blood to live. See, we stereotype each other. You know, like I said, back when I was younger, I was becoming a racist from the things that I heard that white folks used to do. I had to realize as I got older and learned that not all white folks were those folks that they talked about. And when we blame one culture, we blame all. We cannot stop doing the same thing that they did to us. They are racist, but they was making us become racist.
Well, you know what? Even when you look at it, all of the lynchings, all of the castration, all of the murder behind black people that white folks done, you know, that was a way of power. That was a way of torture. That was a way of trying to keep some of us in our place. But now, and I'm trying to figure out where I'm going with this. when you look at they just came down and they just gave Weinstein 22 years, 23 years for rape and all the things that he's done over all of these years, because he had like that gold card, that accessibility
He
card.
had the color, white.
Right, and he had monies.
But
So
white,
you
Bill Cosby had monies.
Okay,
So-
okay, you're right about
Okay,
that.
so-
All right, but then you yourself, you don't have no money. You can't implement your views on somebody else because you're not in power. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Racism, being a racist, you are able to put out your views on somebody else. I went to Goodwill. You're gonna go ahead and check my money, but you didn't check the white man before me. What is the difference there?
Well, take your money and go somewhere else.
I
That's the
understand,
difference.
Kevin. I tried
Okay.
you. I understand. Oh, and another thing, I would like to wish Mr. Kevin and
Brother
Jay happy belated birthday. Brother Jay, I don't know why you have.
Birthday, Kevin.
Thank you. You're welcome. And, and thanks to the family who supported me. I don't have that much family and friends, and that's a good thing.
That's a good
because
thing.
my circle is small, so I get to see everything for what it is.
Real small. His circle is real small.
Real small. And that's what I like, because when you got a lot of people in your circle, you
Yeah.
cannot see what the focus is supposed to be.
And not only that, but your wife is your best friend. So
Correct.
So to be able to have your mate as being your best friend, where they see you when you're down and out, you see them when they're down and out. I mean, what more you're asking for? I know one thing, you do have a lot of vehicles. You don't need all them vehicles. You know, you got the motorcycle, you got the truck, you got the bus. You have a lot of
But
vehicles.
realize that's all old things that I picked up as junk. Like they said,
Okay.
another man's trash is another man's treasure.
Okay, that's junk.
I refuse to go and give these people all the money, just
I
like
agree.
you was complaining about
Yes, I know.
the store being
I know.
discounted and racist. All you have to do is take your money elsewhere or put your money in your pocket.
and-
See, this
and I
this is
did.
what we have
And
to
I
show.
did, and
Okay,
I did,
good. But
and I
this is
did.
what we have to show our people. How to walk out on these people,
Oh,
because
yeah.
our money is what they truly want.
And-
They cannot stand us, but they love our money.
And not just walk out. You got to do better than that. Who's your supervisor? Who's the manager? Who owns the store? Right now, Stage have been closed for the last year, and all the other stores have been closed. I remember years ago going into Stage. My grandkids told me, "Look, Mama, they following us. They must think we gonna steal something." I had $300 cash money that I was buying them some outfits and stuff like that. $300, all in $20 bills. And that when my grandson told me that, I said, "Let me speak to the manager." She said, "What's the problem?" I said, "Well, I need to speak to the manager, or who's the owner, who's in charge, because I'm not gonna have nobody watch my grandkids all around the store thinking that they're gonna steal something, when, as you can tell, I already have the money right here." But not only that, she had ringed up each of these items, so you know she had to wind up placing it back. And look at today. Look at today. You know, all of their stores are out of business. I'm thinking just about all their stores are out of
Okay,
business.
so this leads to another topic: defining our own selves. You know, from slavery to entertainment,
Slavery to
we are
entertainment.
still this country's biggest commodity. Everybody wants them a nigger. We were sold for their wealth, and now we are exploiting ourselves for their wealth. Then you become niggled. Then they tell us you're niggling. Then we get niggered. Then they become niggerly. Stop being an option and become a priority. We can't blame other people for what we do. We got to be the bigger persons. And this is why I stay on my people, even though a lot of black people think that I'm always criticizing my culture. I criticize it because I know we can do better. I don't expect somebody else's culture to tell me what I need to do, not knowing that I can do it for myself. But when you get this power and put it in someone else's hand, then you're giving them all the right to do what they want to do, not what you want to do. Like I say, we have freedom, but it's not free to be ourselves. And that's not freedom. But we got to wake up and realize what we are worth. Because if we don't know how much we worth, we're going to still be getting cut short. And we got to self-educate our own self on all kind of things. like I said, I brought this topic up because I've been hearing so many so-called black leaders saying we shouldn't be using this word nigger.
Oh, okay. So that's why you.
Well, I mean, if this word has all this strength that they think, it doesn't. Look at the definition of it.
Oh yeah.
We cannot be afraid of this word. All the people who uses this word.
And then the youngsters, they see it so much as a term of endearment. You know, what's up, my
brotherhood? This word connects us because, like I say, we were called this so much back in the day. We thought that was our name, and then we pass it on. But when I came up in the household of my parents, they weren't too educated. That word could not be used in the house because that was like a cuss word. But when I discovered the definition of it, I'm like, why do we have to pass and hide this word? This word is what makes us today. And we got to be the one to define the word, not it define us. So we got to stop running from those words that they create. That is only words.
And you know, part of it, and also being that it was entitled as such a negative word, it was the most divisive word in existence because you had the house niggas and you had the field niggas. And now they, black as all our doors, together came over here against their will, but they were divided by that one word.
That
and
one word
divided
turned them against each
not,
other.
Yet not even understanding. And that football player, what's the football player that took the knee?
Colin Kaepernick.
Okay, Kaepernick. I'm gonna go.
Go ahead, call a question or comment.
I'm gonna come back to Kaepernick. Oh, call it.
Good evening, Mr. Kevin.
Happy belated birthday.
Good topic. N-word. I could say it too on your show. I have permission, Mr. Kevin.
No.
You know, we don't want the FCC coming after me, even though I'm not on the set.
Well, we're not calling nobody the word. We defining the word. That's a difference.
Defining the word nigger, you know, and when you consider that word is such a complicated word too. That's another thing people don't understand. It's a complicated word used to express different emotions. Mm-hmm. And I want to say this, and I want to use it in the abstract. When you have certain politicians who want to get my black vote, let's say, I'm going to give you an example. In my home parish of Iberia Parish, Mr. Kevin, apparently certain politicians only show up to a confunction concert because I guess there's a lot of black folks, and I guess that's his public appearance. I'm talking about Lafayette. Iberia Parish President Larry Reshaw. I saw him at the confunction concert, but
Larry was at the
confunction. Rally that's going to help address issues with police brutality, police wrongdoing, speaking out against that. But it's all right when we go shake our rear ends that he shows up. And I saw him. Yeah, I saw him.
You sure that was him?
He's not there. But anyway,
Brother Jay,
I'm still waiting on State Representative Marcus Bryan to show himself. I mean, he was elected, and I know we got the House in session in the Louisiana legislature, Sister Khadija. We have yet to hear from State Representative Marcus Bryan, who represents parts of Iberia Parish, Lafayette, and St. Martin Parish.
Well, he was at the house party that we went to last Saturday.
Representative Terry Landry. I'm waiting on him. He was hired and touted to take the place of Representative Landry. So let's hear from him. Let us know what he's doing. So,
well, I'm telling you what he.
Your example. I'm using the N-word in the abstract. What is the N-word? We got some in the White House. We got a real gangster N-word, and we use it that way. Who's doing whatever the hell he wants. And he's doing like the Emperor Nero. And that's another N-word. Nero, nigger, you know, the same thing. He's fooling around in the White House while Rome is burning, which is in the case of the virus spreading unrelented out here in the United States. So we got N-words, we got we got Neros, we got all these people, just all over the place, Mr. Kevin. So I just want to bring those points up to you, man, and I'm sorry, and Sister Khadija, thank you so much for telling me how many vehicles Mr. Kevin had. I didn't know you tell his business on TV.
But you know what, I forgot to say that those were all damaged vehicles, and somehow through the internet or through his intellect, he was able to put it together, and you would not know. It was just like a sibling. It was just like a compliment.
compliment slash
Yeah.
lightly hating.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the
I
thing
agree.
is,
I agree.
the thing that you asked about, where can you find Marcus Bryant? He goes to home parties. He comes to the church across the street from my shop. He's not have no agenda to even do something for the state rep. He's waiting on Terry Landry to tell him everything that he's going to be doing, and then Terry Landry might get back into it. But the biggest thing that we're having today with our so-called elected black officials is that they only pop up when they need us. And we fall for it all the time, because just like white people look for the great white hope, we look for the great black hope, not knowing we are our only hope that can make us better and do better in life. This is what people don't realize. We got to start identifying who we are and what we represent. See, I'm from the country, and my parents and the family and the neighborhood, that was the people who counseled me. That was the people who told me who I was to become. Those were the people that really made me the person I am today, because they were true role models. They was not rich. They wasn't famous. They was ordinary people staying in the neighborhood who saw things that I didn't see, who also warned me about the things that was to come if I didn't pay attention. This is what we don't get from our neighborhoods and families and friends, the truth. We got to start telling our kids, children, friends, when they are wrong. This morning y'all had a politician trying to run for judge on your show. But she said she's not going to criticize other candidates.
Well,
nobody was asking her to criticize other candidates.
I understand what you're
saying.
saying.
Her job
Yes.
to tell people what they did not do, what they was doing, and what she's going to do to make a change.
Well, you know what? And she's actually a good candidate, but there are certain things.
What has she done before this?
There are certain things that she can't even comment on, because it's against their code. Some things
She worked for the public. She is a public servant. She worked for the people, not the people on the side of it. And that's what we must understand, that word. Public servant is for the people,
it's
not
for
the people you work on the side of. The people are the rights to everything to know about your personal life, because you're trying to represent our personal life. You know, this government was not created to make govern rules on people. It was created to make rules on government businesses. That way they don't start using other people. Now we have more government rules on people than businesses. This is not right. This is not freedom. Because if a person cannot be themselves, they are not free. So when you get a black candidate who you just hearing about running and telling you stories, to me, she's just like the other candidates. Show me your background. Show me your credentials. What did you do before this?
Yeah, and she done a lot of things for the last 10 years.
Like what? I never saw her to none of the protesters. I never saw her to none of the black things that needed to be out there. This is what a public servant does.
Right, but you know, we all have to work in different avenues. For the last 10 years, she had done pro bono work.
She was an apprentice. She was learning the job. She needed to get pro bono.
Right, and when we're talking about pro bono, you know, that means that some people that you know that have a case and they can't afford to hire a lawyer. So her and her expertise, or whoever she could recommend, would go ahead and take the case. So that 10 years of pro bono is a lot of years.
I do free haircuts with apprentice. That way the barber that I'm training, he's getting free training. That way somebody can say he gave me a messed up job. But you know he wasn't professional, but he still gave you a free haircut. So just like the lawyers do it, it's called good practicing. But my thing is, we cannot give them all that credit because they gave pro bono. Because once they get certified and recognized, now they're giving you double the price that they shouldn't be charging.
Oh, yes, correct. And we're here with Defending Our Community. I'm the co-hostess, Khadijah, and your host is Mr. Kevin. And the topic that Mr. Kevin came up with, which...
Defining the word nigger, because she's so afraid to use that word.
No, I can use the word. Okay. It has no power on me.
Not at all. You know, nobody. It has no power on... It's just a word.
It's just a word. Look, let me tell you one thing. During school, doing that integration, one of the teachers told me, she said, oh, you was fighting again. I said, yes, I was. And what happened? Because somebody called you a nigga? I said, yep, you're right. And I'm going to show them each time. And so she told me, she said, well, if somebody called you a millionaire, would you fight with them? And I said, well, no, I'm not a millionaire. So she said, well, why do you fight when somebody called you a nigga?
Because you didn't
I
understand
said,
the
right,
word.
I didn't understand the word, and those were fighting words. But she clicked on the light bulb. You know, don't let nobody define you by
giving a word and you jump up and catch it and put it on you as a title.
Right.
You know, my thing back in the day coming up, and this wasn't in school, this was out of school. Me and a black friend went to a white friend's house. We knocked at the door and 2 little white kids came, and you could hear them telling their parents there's some niggas at the door. Mm-hmm. And my thing was, I was shocked, but I wasn't offended because I'd never heard a child use that word nigga that openly. I didn't blame the child. It came from the parents. Yeah. Now, the white guy was not my friend. He was the black guy's friend. He was more offended than me because he thought the white guy was a true friend. And this is what I tell people. Sometimes you hear those words that you need to hear. Understand them. Stop being blocked out. A lot of times people will tell you any and everything you need to know just by one conversation. They're going to use the word game on you because every time we start to understand a word, they change it.
And you know,
and it's the same meaning.
Right, and it's the same meaning. You know, one thing I want to let people know, when we're here, we're talking from experience, but we're also talking from research. If you notice, right here, you have like the tablet. Now, Mr. Kevin tablet is full with writing all the way through. You know, sometimes when you ask him for a paper, you know, he don't even want to give you a sheet of paper.
Right,
and
because
paper,
that's the next topic.
And we do have our paperwork
and this
right
tablet
here.
is not cheap. I don't go to the dollar store or where you went to Salvation Army. I don't go there and get my supplies.
Okay, yes. And it's a live segment. You could reach us at 337-366-8950. I'm not sure if we streaming live, but if not, we'll go. Maybe Brother Jay streaming live. Maybe Brother Shahi. We don't really know. But this is what I wanted to say when we talking about when we were speaking earlier about the football player Kaepernick that took the knee. You know, he didn't take the knee because he just felt like, it's my time to shine. He was making a statement. He was saying that he wasn't going to stand up and recite the Pledge of Allegiance or my country, tears of thee.
Well, he felt like he was a first-class entertainer, but a second-class citizen because no matter how you look at it, if you listen to the words that's in the pledge, it violates you to the highest.
Yes, it do.
You got to read and that's another thing people not understanding who jumped on the bandwagon of saying Colin was wrong because they really didn't understand what the pledge was saying.
Right. And they didn't understand the true essence
of a pledge.
And they didn't understand the true essence of the reason why he took the knee. Now, when Jay-Z, Beyonce husband, he came out and he was in support of Kaepernick, and then all of a sudden, who's in charge of the football league? Okay, the football league player himself, the one that's in charge of it.
I don't follow that. So
well, then I don't follow that.
I understand what you're saying. The head of the NFL commissioner.
Yeah, the commissioner. What's the commissioner?
He knew. Well, we don't need to know his name. Everybody, there's only one commissioner. He knew.
Yeah. He knew
what he had done.
And
it all was behind this President Trump saying that he violated his country. Now, they showed films from Jay-Z at the Super Bowl. Him and his family wasn't standing for the pledge, but then they showed Trump at his private resort dancing and singing on the same song. But it was all right for Trump to dance and sing, but Jay-Z them didn't have to stand. This is right, and this is what people don't catch on. But the thing that gets me is, it is just a saying, and you have the right not to say it.
That's right.
I don't say the Pledge of Allegiance, not because of Colin, because now I understand what a pledge is. When a pledge is given to you, you must feel part of it.
Yes.
And if we're not part of it, we don't have to stand and hold our hand against our heart. Meanwhile, people are breaking our hearts.
Yes.
And this will get me with the schools. When this started, Every little school wanted the black children to stand up, not understand the
yes,
pledge,
they
and now they
did.
put it on TV to make us think we are famous.
That's right.
But you're showing kids how to disrespect themselves, because if you read the pledge good, there is no allegiance for the different culture. Until we become that culture that got allegiance with other culture, then we can all say the pledge with a smile.
Yes, yes, yes. I wholeheartedly agree with you. And if you want to get in on the conversation with Mr. Kevin, with myself, the telephone number to call is 337-366-8950, extension 1.
And this is another thing we got to make ourselves understand, that we are free. It's our mind that's locked. Everything that enslaves us is now consuming us, from religion to politics.
Oh,
We just go in whatever they tell us, we believe without even doing our own studies of it. Guys, look, our parents pushed us for better education, to be better than our oppressors, not to become like them. And now I'm seeing our own people exploiting our own people. You know, I don't praise billionaires and millionaires, especially black people, who feel they got to go and get 10 cars, 20 houses,
Oh,
with,
yeah.
with the money
That don't
that
make no sense.
people are struggling to get.
right. That don't make no sense. And then they're getting a tax write-off at the same
Behind
time.
that, and you can use that same money to go in your old neighborhood and build apartment, spec houses
Yeah.
for people to have a living affordable without being stressed.
Yes, and I think one of the basketball players, he's doing that.
They got a football player, they got a couple of guys
Yes.
doing it. But what I'm trying to say is that
Director?
we got to do more of it. We got to do more of it with ourselves. You know, you say all the things I got. That's all the old things. That's something I've been having 20, 30 years.
Oh yeah, Troy.
But no, I'm just saying, I don't just go buy things because
Right.
other people getting it. Right now we are becoming followers. Somebody get this, they got to go get that.
Yes.
You
I'd
know,
rather drive in that old white truck that you have with no air condition, not paying anything on it, instead of
because
paying.
it's yours.
Yeah, instead of
Look,
paying.
income tax season right now. You got to have the poor people
Oh, yeah.
go and put down on vehicles. What you putting down, the people that bought it got it for about $1 or $2 at the auction. And you go put down on it, they buy 2 more cars, then you pay notes on it.
Yeah, and then not only that, once you drive that vehicle off the lot, it done depreciated.
But there is a limit law. You got 30 days, even
got
though
30
they don't give you a warranty.
Yeah.
You can go back, because a lot of people have been stopping by my shop with engine lights on.
Oh my land.
Because what they do, they reprogram the computer, and when you drive off, the engine light don't come on until a day or 2 next.
You see?
But you're not paying attention to that because you don't understand the dynamics of a car.
That's right.
And when you come by me, I tell you, bring it back. Oh, I bought it as is. No, there's a 30-day limit law.
30 days.
You can bring it back. They either fix it or give you your money back.
Right.
We
Right.
cannot be duped on this again. And look, guys, they got more black people doing it to black people. I'm not mad at the white guys that does it. I'm mad at the black people who getting in the game and using your own people in the game.
That's right. That's
You know,
right.
and that's what I can't take. You know, I clown when I like you. And when I don't clown, I don't like you at all. And I haven't met nobody that I don't like. So my thing is, I do on to people who have been done to me. You got to give respect to earn respect. And this is what we're not teaching our people, how to get along with each other. You know, they'll come to me and I'll give them a price, which is too cheap. And then they'll go to the white guy and pay the price. And then the white guy don't give them all the service. Then they'll come back to me and try to complain about the white guy. Hold up. I gave you a price. I was too cheap. Right. And I cannot charge you a arm and a leg when it only costs a finger. But we feel that if it costs more, it's better service. It's not.
It's not. It's just like that bootleg robbing mechanic out of St. Martinville.
Well, he's on the run, so
You could put it on. It's just like that bootlegger, Robin Mechanic, Marvin Etienne, out of St. Martinville. You know.
I wonder about him, but you know,
No,
he's black. She always catered to her black people. But go ahead.
It's kind of hot in here. And I mean, what's wrong with getting the job done? I mean, not only do you get paid ahead of time, I mean, you had $15,000 that you got paid for to do work on a damn vehicle that you say that you knew how to do the work to. Not only do you keep it for 3 months, and I wish I had his picture, Marvin H.N. out of St. Martinville, Louisiana. Don't go near his
Well, he's out of business right now, so you was the last one he had robbed. But the thing is, guys, look, I don't go by color. If somebody's good, I'm going to tell you about them, whether they're black or not. And my thing is, she like to stick to blackness, and I like to stick to people that does business the way it's supposed to be done. When I get white customers, Asian customers, and Pakistani customers, I treat them just like any other customers. But we don't get that through everybody. We feel we have to exploit our own to make it. At the end of the day, you have to go home. At the end of the day, you got a heart. At the end of the day, somebody else is struggling more than you.
Oh, yes.
So why do this to people? And that's what a lot of my people gets mad at me, because I'm direct when it comes to being direct.
Oh, yes.
I don't care what color you are, be right.
Yeah, be
if
right.
you're in
Treat everybody
business,
the same.
give good business. If you're a politician, do your job as a politician and not start talking about ethics, because you owe it to your constituents who vote for you to put things right. When they get in there and they get next to the next politician, the first thing you hear is, oh, I can't say that because of the ethics. Guys, look, when you hear a politician saying that, or somebody who's trying to get into politics saying this kind of thing, don't vote for them. Because they letting you know right there, once they get in that seat, they will change. You know, like I tell everybody, you complain about white folk, but they vote. You can't complain about the people who doing what they have to do to make a change. City council meetings are every other Tuesday. You don't see no blacks in there.
Oh,
and the black council members that's in there, they're in there for themselves. The ones where I'm from. And it's my job to let you know about them. And I'm not going to say sugarcoat nothing.
No.
Because their job is to protect the people.
Yes.
We hired them to serve us, not themselves. And this is what's happening in our district. We got to wake up and understand that and stop letting them tell us another lie.
Carly, you have a question or a comment from Mr. Kevin or myself?
Yeah, Mr. Kevin, I wanted to call back, and I'm glad you guys brought up that topic, because I wasn't going to go there. Y'all brought up two topics that you could connect together, automobiles and ethics. I'm trying to figure out, Mr. Kevin, when we're going back to our representation on the state legislature.
On the board.
The people who make the laws. I know this session, I want to give a shout out and applause to John Bell Edwards. He's actually going to tackle the high insurance rates that the state of Louisiana has on their customers. And one of the things, Mr. Kevin, those legislative people are the ones who are slaves to those big trial lawyers and don't want to put any kind of tort reform, just let them trial lawyers run up the insurance rates, by having these tremendous settlements. I'm not against a person getting paid for some catastrophic injury or death in their family. But what I'm against, Mr. Kevin, is when you have to pay those high insurance rates and then you get flagged because you miss one day.
One day.
Your insurance costs in the mail, and these insurance companies don't give you any kind of grace period, and the state of Louisiana don't. And then you go up there, and I know some people, when I went, I had a couple of those I had to deal with, Mr. Kevin, and it's not pretty. But I heard some people got $2,000. I mean, come on, and just for missing a couple of days, and that added up with each one is $125. We people got to pay attention to what is going on. These insurance companies are causing that. The state of Louisiana is ripping people off. That does not really help people just by punishing partially, because those fines could limit your right to drive, to work, to do anything.
Yes.
So I want to bring that up and get your opinion on that. Thank you so much, my brother.
All right, but the thing is, not just car insurance, your own home health insurance.
Oh, yeah.
These people, you give them your insurance card, and they still got a deductible that they make you have to come out your pocket with.
Yes.
This is another thing that we got to keep eye on because they will rape us. They throw a price. They called me one time and told me my visit was $100. I'm like, well, I got full coverage. I pay insurance for this, and hung the phone up. 20 minutes later, the lady called back. It had them drop back down to $50. $50 done dropped off. I'm like, well, you call me back when I don't have to pay nothing. But I will be contacting my insurance, letting them know you trying to make me pay out of pocket another extra $50, which you're going to still charge the insurance at the end of the day.
Still charge the insurance.
And this
That's
was
right.
what Barack was trying to do back in the day. Cut that middleman cost, because right now, America is a price gouger.
Yes.
Just because they can do it, they going to do it.
And remember, I know we only have like a few minutes. Please take care of your elderly citizen. Please remember to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. You have the coronavirus that's out there that's doing.
And we still have the flu too now. The flu
we still got.
The flu
we
still
got
more potent than the corona.
the flu
Oh
still
yes,
more
indeed,
potent
because
than the
we even
corona.
had more deaths. But look, guys, I got some apologies to make about what is a good education. I want to apologize to all the black people that I thought were acting white, not knowing they were educated. Thanks to my grandchildren,
Okay.
I realized how ignorant I was. Because they wasn't acting white, they was educated. They was using words the way it was supposed to be used.
In the right sentence, right context.
Correct. And you know, I'm not afraid to say I was wrong.
Oh, yes.
And this is the key to getting older and changing and respecting other people's views and values. Because we all make mistakes. When you correct it, it becomes the best.
Okay, all right.
And-
So we could go to full shot. We only have, what, 2 minutes? All right. Well, then, you just got through from saying you're apologizing to the educators. Mr. Kevin has
Well, the black people that I violated by saying stop trying to act white
Oh, okay.
when they were educated. I was the one that wasn't being educated because
Okay.
I refused to be.
Eh.
And hearing my grandchildren, you know, using these words at these ages
Okay.
that they are, this is what a good
And using-
education sounds like. And this is
and
why
using it right.
I tell people, we got to self-educate our own children. We got to start at the house letting them know what education means. We got to even explain what respect is. Because if we don't respect our own self at home, when you go into the street, they not going to respect you at all. So you got to give it to get it. Always remember that. They are afraid of us. They know what we are capable of doing. But if we keep on self-destructing on our own self, then we don't want to become lost. So y'all got to be on point. And look, guys, don't be polled. Because two of the black candidates nominated Joe Biden as their president to run for.
Oh,
Guys, look,
Okay, you talking about the presidential race.
the presidential race.
Okay.
We didn't want these two black people as president. And we're not going to settle because they done got job offers. Look, guys, so far Bernie is the guy that I'm looking at that y'all should look at. Go check the background. Go do all the background because we can't get divided again. We cannot do. Now, I'm not telling you who to vote for, but go check the background record of Biden.
Yes, well,
He was only on Obama's coattail.
Yes. Well, you know, I was hoping that we would have at least had a woman as the president, and you never know. Maybe, well, not maybe, but then there's a woman that's going to be the vice president.
Correct.
You know, and the reason why that's important is because you must know who's allegedly represents you. We have the Census Bureau the census that's coming out. You know, people have got to tell the truth on these census forms.
Right, because
you
the
know?
monies will be denied if you don't.
Right,
And this is
right.
what they've been doing to us
That's
without
why-
educating. They scare people. Oh, don't tell them how many people they're going to come and get you out of there.
That's right.
Don't let them fool you again.
Yes, indeed. That's billions of dollars. That
they can keep.
That
And
we
don't
need.
give- yeah.
You know, in our community. You just like you go to the West End Park in New Iberia. You got that same toilet that's been there for almost 35, 40 years. You know, people can't even get in and sit down on the toilet because you can't close the door. You know, where the
Now,
money.
give him some credit. He bought 5 little kid slides, and he's supposed to have a water park in the next 5 years.
I'm not talking about giving nobody no credit. I'm talking about the recreation department
And that's my
themselves.
point. My point is
where
he
the-
should have put that in the gym and not on the outside. We got drive-by shooting. Why would you want your child to come slide on some slides where they got bullets flying?
It's bigger than that. It's those that who control the monies. Heather was one of those person. Okay, Heather was one of those person that before she got her raise, she used to like look out. You could have go to her. You could have expect things to happen legally.
Well, this is her last year. I'm hearing that they're not too happy with her.
Oh, okay.
Well, when funds run out, the last hired is the first fired.
And she been there some years.
Well, but the last white person came, and now she's the first black person that's going to get fired for that position.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right. And for that sounds.
And
right.
it's not being a racist statement. I'm just being honest and truthful.
No, it's just the truth.
Because if we can't start seeing the truth for what it is and not what they're trying to tell us, we gonna be the ones still being lost in this country. Guys, look, I done woke up. I consider myself born again.
And he apologized.
Not in the Christian way, but in the life way.
Yeah.
I believe in human beings, things that I can see.
I believe in the good Lord.
Well, when I see him, I can believe in him.
But you got to see him in your heart.
The heart is there, and he's telling me to say this.
And it's Women's Heart Month this month. So
it's Women's Heart every day because y'all are the creators.
Yeah, that's
every day. It's not a month or a day that women shouldn't be praised. Y'all is what created us.
Yeah, that's right.
But don't let us put y'all down.
Right.
So stop looking for a month when you deserve the years.
Yes. 30 seconds. All right. So.
And guys, if you're not part of the. Go ahead.
Oh, Marlene.
Yes.
Thank you so very much. We really appreciate you. Stay tuned. In another 2 weeks, we will be on Defending the Community. Mr. Kevin and myself. This Saturday?
Yes, this Saturday we got another show.
You got it? We got a show?
Yeah, we got a show. You might be wanting to do the Mo and Buck show, but we got another show, guys, because we got to continue in waking ourselves up. And this is what we have to do.
Well, you know,